Most of you will know that we humans are closely related to primates like chimpanzees. But did you know that we are in fact just as hairy as they are? Yes, apes and humans each have 5 million hairs covering our entire bodies apart from the palms and soles. But whereas chimpanzees are covered in a luxurious growth all over, most of our body hair is so short and wispy as to be almost invisible. So why is that? Well, all of our hair follicles go through a growth and a resting phase. And in the resting phase, the hair falls out. And on our legs, that happens after just a couple of months. And in the armpit, 6 months, which is why these hairs are always shortish. But what about Rapunzel, whose hair grew so long it reached from the top of the tower all the way to the ground? Well, sadly, in real life, that's not possible. The hair on our heads goes into a resting phase after around about 6 years. So the longest anyone can grow their hair is around a metre or so. Now imagine you've got lovely flowing locks and all of a sudden you find clumps of hair on your pillow, in the hairbrush, and you look in the mirror and OMG, I'm going bald. Well, don't panic. Almost certainly what you're experiencing is what's called telogen effluvium. Now this is quite a common condition and it can happen to anyone as a response to stress or illness. It often happens to women after childbirth due to the hormonal changes. And what's going on is that a whole heap of our hair follicles go into the resting phase at the same time, leading to the thinning of our hair. Don't worry, just wait, it will all get better. No treatment required. Now, of course, as we men get older, our hair tends to thin. So that by the age of 50, at least half of us are suffering from male pattern baldness. And it's sometimes said that this is all the fault of your mother's father. Well, actually, the genetics are a bit more complicated than that. It's probably more due to who your dad is than your granddad. There are all sorts of myths about male pattern baldness, so let's deal with a couple of those. Number one, no, it's not due to shampooing too much or too roughly. No, it's not due to wearing a hat that stops your scalp from breathing. The skin on your scalp breathes just the way the rest of your skin does, through the bloodstream. And anyway, hats are really good at hiding the bald spots. And no, bald men are no more virile than men with hair. Yes, it's true that male pattern baldness is dependent on testosterone, but studies have shown that bald men are no more sexually active than the well-thatched. Sorry, chromosomes. So if your hair is thinning, what can we do? Well, there are lotions that you can rub on and pills that you can take, but they only work while you're using them. Then, of course, there's hair transplant, which is pretty good these days, but it's not cheap. As for me, I'll just make do with what I've got and I'll wear a hat.